That was Goat's Head Soup by the Rolling Stones. That was Wafing Echoing this morning. We're here early enough that we can waif and echo. Nobody here when we usually get here. We were dancing with Mr. D on a stormy Monday. See what I did there, Andy? Combined two songs, a little Smokin', and was spot on the Monday. It is Monday. Last week was brutal. We had like 102, 103, and the winds, picked up. Oh, jeez. Weekend, nice. Cool, rainy. Last week, like Thursday, it was like, help me, I melted with a brunch. All right, man. Andy, good morning, everyone. Andy, everybody, it is August 21st. Summer's almost gone. And a reminder, again, if you need to be to work by 8 o'clock, you're probably late right now. Seeing that it's August 21st, we are almost in the football season. College, NFL, only like 2 weeks away. NFL preseason is now. Lions lost to Jacksonville Saturday. They're 1-1. Preseason doesn't count, but college. Hey. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail the Michigan, the champions of the West. That's right, college football, let's go blue. Expecting big things in Ann Arbor this year. Yeah, big things. And so seeing that we're like, what, Andy, 2 weeks, 10 days away, it's time for the annual football forecast extravaganza. Is it really an extravaganza, or is it just a spectacular? Who knows? Where do we start? NFL, college. College is the usual suspects. So let's start with the NFL. Jump right in. All right. Andy says, jumping right in. So let's start then in the NFC. Let's go right to the NFC East. Okay. We're jumping right in, Andy. Heck with it. The focus is going to be on the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to do the divisions. We're going to do the divisions in chronological order. I'm going to okay, 1, 2, I'm not, okay. So Philadelphia, okay, NFC East. They're going to be, after last year. What do you think, man? What do you think, everybody? Andy, with the core team that's still intact in Philly, the Eagles are the betting favorites anyway. I don't always do the betting favorite, but they're in the NFC the favorites. Okay, to do it. I don't think they're my favorites. Of course they're not. If everyone can stay healthy. They fielded the number one offensive team in the whole NFL last year, and if that group, and especially the line, okay, the Eagles' offensive line, if they can all stay healthy, sky's the limit, Andy. Right? Sky is the limit. Okay. Dallas Cowboys got them coming in then in the second, right behind the Eagles in the NFC East. However, they made some major changes and moves during the offseason, and it wouldn't take much for the for the Dallas Cowboys to go right, and for the Philadelphia Eagles to go wrong, and maybe the team to beat in the NFC could be Dallas. Okay? Dak Prescott, say what you will. He's got a talented group, and he does. He's got a real good core group of receivers, and Dak's, and of course, they got rid of that 600-pound albatross Ezekiel Elliott. Giants. Yeah, I got Giants next. When I look at the Giants roster on paper, it's really patchy on paper, and it's heavily reliant on a bunch of young players that haven't played a lot of time in other teams, and they're all together. And I think that last season for the Giants was an overachievement. Andy, could you say that? At least, unless the coaching staff can repeat the miracle, the team will probably step back. The Giants, I don't see them doing anything. I don't think they're in my top final picks for the playoffs. I think the playoffs were a fluke last year, but I do. I think they're going to take a step back. And the Washington, what are they now? The Washington Generals, Capitals. The Washington Capitals is the Commanders. Unrelated podcast. I hear that the natives are unhappy that they changed their name. But anyway, you got the Washington's. They finished just a game back of the Giants last year, and it felt like it was just another mediocre season. Josh Howell's the starting quarterback going into 2023, but if you take his college and his pro career put together, Andy Josh has been sacked a lot, okay? And in pros, college, sacked a lot. Do I see him getting sacked a lot this year? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, we got the Philly, Dallas, definitely. New York, Washington, definitely not, in my opinion. Okay? And the NFC North Division. I have Detroit. That's right. I got Detroit going 11-6 and winning the NFC North this year. It may or may not be signs of the upcoming apocalypse, but Jared Goff plays well at quarterback. The Lions, again, they have a good run game. And then there's Adrian Hutchinson, second year out of the University of where, Michigan. That's right, Andy. You already beat me into it. The offense, Minnesota Vikings. The offense on paper should score plenty of points, but they were ranked 31st in the league last year on defense, and it doesn't look any better this year. Andy, do you remember the old Eric Coryell of the San Diego Chargers with Dan Fouts? And they were just like, we're going to score 900 points. But they had no defense. They had like the coach's daughter, and, right, yeah, they were bad. there's going to be a lot of shootouts. They're going to give up a lot of points, but they're going to score a lot of points. So get ready for shootouts galore in the city. What is it? The Twin Cities. Packers are kind of one of the season's unknowns for me. There's no telling what Jordan Love will look like under center. With all the changes going on, I can only see an up and down season at best. But, I don't think Titletown's going to make the playoffs, Andy. Do you? No, sir. Andy's saying no. So, and to be clear, all right, last team, to be clear. I believe that Justin Fields, as an NFL quarterback, he wasn't drafted as a scrambler. The kid's got more talent than he's given credit for. He's got a freaking gun. Chicago's got to figure out how to protect him. He's a good quarterback. They were the worst team in the NFL last year, and I don't see that changing, Andy. I see them continuing to be the worst team in the NFL. So I got Detroit winning the North. I really do. I think that they're going to be good this year. I think the line's good. I think the run game's good. I think Goff's good. I'm partial to the Lions. When the Lions do good, everybody's a Lions fan, and I'm a Lions fan. Goes, hey, the only real Lions fan we know that's been a Lions fan for like ever is Pipewrench. Where do you want to go? South, west? They should have a Southwest division. They shouldn't. Where do you want to go? NFC South? Okay, you want to go to the South? All right, you're talking about, Andy's like, yeah, let's go to the South. The South. We'll go have brunch. The South may be the worst division in the NFL. And picking, you got me picking which mediocre team is going to be the best of the worst. It's not easy being the prognosticator, but I'll tell you what, if I got to pick the guy, New Orleans, the Saints. I mean, they got Derek Carr, okay, which isn't saying much, but he's the most proven quarterback in the NFC South. Tampa Bay Bucks actually have excellent defense. You got linebackers Levante David and Devin White, and receivers Mike Evans and Chris, was it Goodwin? Brady's receivers, Brady kind of offense, but But who's under center, Andy? In Tampa, who? Who is it? Who? Throw it up here. It's Kyle. Kyle Trax. Kyle Trax or... No. Is it Baker Mayfield? Yeah, no. Okay, so as I said, and to make matters worse, you got the Falcons. Falcons aren't going to be a bad team. They're just not going to be a good team. Just not going to be a group of players that are going to run the ball. But second-year quarterback, it's Desmond Roeder. Jesus, he was just so, Andy, in his last 4 starts. He's not a proven commodity at all. In Carolina, they're embarking on they got a new coach. What is it, Frank Reich? Yeah. and first overall pick than Bryce Young, but Panther fans and the team, the Panther fans know that the team still, I even know it. I'm not a Panther fan at all. They have significant holes everywhere in the team, on both sides of the ball. Okay, it's going to take time, and Carolina's not going to be in any conversations for any time soon. So NFC West now. Okay. So I got the New Orleans Saints come backdooring in just because they're division champ. All right, NFC West. Oh, jeez. It's a no-brainer for me. It's San Francisco. When at 100%, they're an excellent balance of offense and defense. They're one of the best equipped teams to keep the Eagles or the Lions from advancing to the Super Bowl this year. News regarding Brock Purdy's injury, surgery, healing remains questionable. And they have questions, Andy, a quarterback, that could be a problem. So, next up, Seattle. Should get Seattle. They were a surprise last season, if you ask me, and the team is well positioned for another playoff run, actually. What is it? Devin Witherspoon and Tyreek Woolen could be the league's best pair of shutdown corners. I've always said defense wins championship. They are young, but if you got a set of corners that can shut down, well, okay. So, you got a set of corners. Andy, you're right. You got a set of corners, defense does. The Rams, what the hell? I said, I didn't like it when they brought the Rams, they lost all sorts of, didn't they? Yeah, all sorts of veteran, pull it up. All sorts of veteran talent this year. They could experience a serious collapse, if you ask me. But this team still has some core players. They won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And with Matthew Stafford, I'm not a Matthew Stafford hater. He played in Michigan. I wish we were good then as we are now with him, but maybe we're as good now because he left. It's only 2 years ago. We've turned around the whole team around. Anything can happen in LA. It's going to be holy. It's going to be a long, long year for the Arizona Cardinals. There's no telling when quarterback Kyler Murray might be partially back. That was from an ACL injury. DeAndre Hopkins is gone, Andy. You see it? Wide receiver. So they lost their quarterback. He's out with an ACL. Their receiver's out. They got a new coach in Jonathan Gannon, remember? And the holes on defense, my kid could play. My kid's like in their 20s and 30s, but they've never played football. They can play for Arizona. Where we go now? AFC. Where do you want to go into the AFC? Obviously, East. Because East, All right. Let's go into the AFC. So you got all the NFC, ran down your teams. Let's run down some NFC. AFC teams, Buffalo, three times reigning champion of the AFC East. They have the second best offense and sixth best defense a season ago. Buffalo, they're loaded. They have loaded out. I like Josh Allen. He's tough. I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo. Jets. What's going on with the Jets? The Jets fans are still partying since Aaron Rodgers arrived, and the Jets now have some of the offensive firepower to hang with the Bills in the AFC East. But Rodgers, Green Bay traded him for a reason. Okay, it was both everybody, but it was a reason that it happened. He's a 39-year-old quarterback coming off a down year, coming onto a new team. Jets haven't had a winning season since 2015. Slow your roll, Jets fans. Just slow down. Miami Dolphins coming in there third. It's one of the hardest teams to actually make a prediction about because they could win 10 games or they could freaking lose 10 games. I mean, depending on the health of Tua Tagovailoa, that's a big if. I mean, the guy's been beat up in the last 2 years. They have the toughest schedule in the NFL this year. The New England Patriots. The hard reality for New England and New England fans is that New England is the least talented team in one of the most difficult divisions in the NFL. Nothing good lasts forever, New England. The days of the New England Patriots and the glory years are over. Oh, yeah, they're over, Andy. Yeah, for now, anyway. For now, yeah. Should we go to the AFC North? Look on paper. Bengals don't have many weaknesses. Joe Burrow is one of the league's top quarterbacks. He's a winner. He's won in college, won in high school. He just needs to win one in the pros. The Bengals are loaded with talent. They have talent not only on skills positions, but the addition of Orlando Bloom, that helped. That helps. Up front always helps. Coming through. Success of the Baltimore Ravens comes down to two things. The health of Lamar Jackson, as you all know, and the new offense of Todd Monken. They can unlock a system, unlock the passing game, get that vertical game going. They could make them a Super Bowl contender. The Baltimore's got a defense, Andy. I'm telling you, man, they got a defense. Okay, so Steeler fans aren't going to want to hear this, but Pittsburgh's probably going to be the most boring team in the league this year. I got nothing. Every year, I got nothing. Let's go to Cleveland. All right, I got nothing with Pittsburgh. Be like, oh, shit. Wake me up when the game's over. All right, every year it's the Cleveland Browns year, and to be fair, the Browns do have a decent set, skill positions, talent. One of the league's better offensive lines, an excellent pass rush. But Deshaun Watson, he looked mostly awful last year in limited action. And, Browns, it's the Browns. Something's going to go wrong. Bingo, AFC South, Jacksonville Jaguars, the question. The question there is whether Trevor Lawrence can hang with the Bills, Bengals, and Chiefs. It's the injury in the preseason. This question is probably going to be answered this January. Well, they'll win the division. Tennessee Titans clearly have an aging quarterback in Derrick Henry. He's closing in on 30 birthday. Defense has questions. Mike Bartle is a good coach, but he's a good coach of a mediocre team at best. Both Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans are in rebuilding stages, and third worst defense and second worst offense, respectively. Don't expect that to change. The AFC West is, this is tough. The AFC West? Oh, geez. Let me see. Chiefs have only won it, what? 7 times, the AFC West. Have won 12 or more games every season since 2018. The AFC West, the AFC, maybe the NFL belongs to the Chiefs until somebody does it about it. And that's where I'm going with the Chiefs, Andy. I mean, in theory, you can say the Chargers are a better team on the roster, 1-55, player for player, except you don't win, except for quarterback, except you don't win games on paper. But the Chargers have a habit of snatching defeat straight from the jaws of victory. Wild card. Broncos and Raiders, they're both bad football teams. I think maybe Broncos might sneak in a back door. They did have last year's league's worst scoring defense. Raiders had a record for giving up double-digit leads in the second quarter. So, just to be clear, we did the all team breakout, but my AFC picks are Kansas City, Jacksonville, Buffalo, New York Jets, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Los Angeles Chargers. Those are your division winners, wild cards. Your AFC champion, hold on to your hats. Let's do the next. NFC. No, we're not going to give away the AFC championship, Andy. Philadelphia. NFC. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Dallas, Detroit, Seattle, Minnesota, and New Orleans. AFC championship game, Kansas City, Cincinnati. NFC championship game, Philadelphia, Detroit. Your Super Bowl, Cincinnati and Detroit, with Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl. Andy, NFL right there. In college football, it's a lot easier. It starts like in 10 days. Associated Press has already been released. Coaches polls already released. Top 10 is no surprise. Maybe the order of they're in. You got the SEC, you got Georgia, looking to win it. They got Alabama second. I'm looking at LSU. The ACC, North Carolina with the quarterback there, I like Clemson. Big Ten, I like Michigan. They're talking Michigan and or Penn State. The game with Michigan on the road with Penn State will maybe decide who's going to play for the national championship. Pac-10, USC, Oregon, no. Big 12, Texas. Okay, what do we got for the... I'm going to tell you right now. I'm a Michigan homer, and I've been a Michigan homer for Jump Street. This is, by far, pound for pound. They got the best offensive line, the best running back, Tatum, the best quarterback that I've ever seen, ever play at that Michigan, ever in my life. Okay? I don't see Ohio State sneaking into the playoff system this year. If anyone is going to sneak into it, it would be Penn State. I think Ohio State has quarterback problems, and that's going to haunt them. I like Michigan. I like Michigan playing. I like Penn State playing. I like Penn State's only loss will be at Michigan when Michigan comes to town. They'll be one-loss team. They'll beat Ohio State. I like USC. I like Michigan playing USC for the national championship. I like Michigan beating Georgia. I like USC beating Penn State in the prelims. Michigan's your national champion. And before we go, man, oh freaking man. So we got the Lions going to the Super Bowl but not winning it. And I like Michigan beating USC and on Saturday night, the Sugar Show has officially taken over the Bantamweight division, and he is in the division champion in the building. Not in our building, but in the UFC. It's slow. You watch the fight, slow first round. It was neither fighter took control. I didn't think either looked particularly sharp. They were dancing around. Second round, O'Malley dropped the now former champion with a picture perfect counter right, boom! Sterling came in a little reckless. If you watch it, I watched the rerun 1,000 times. He hit him flush, knocked him on his butt, and made him pay for it. So Sugar Sean is your Bantamweight UFC champion as of Sunday night. First, it was Great Falls' own Kai Stewart. He took the bare knuckle fighting to a featherweight championship, and now Helena's Sean O'Malley. He takes the Bantamweight UFC crown. So I guess the message is in Montana, I guess them kids know how to fight. So hats off to Sean. The Sugar Show. Andy, is the Sugar Show, are we done? Andy says we're done. So we brought to you picks, controversy. Those are my picks. I'm sticking with them. So until next week, don't forget to spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Rescue, foster. Hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Until next week, Andy, we're out of here. We're out of here. Enjoy the next college and football season. We will see you next week.